I'm going to tell you how to achieve a lot more in just 1 month than most people do in about 12 months.
Are you kidding me, man?
What, are you kidding me?
You're kidding me. You gotta be kidding me.
Are you kidding me? I mean, are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
You gotta be kidding me.
You gotta be kidding me.
You gotta be kidding me.
You're kidding me.
You're kidding me.
Sounds impossible, right? It's very much possible simply because of two things. One, we know that lots of people, that includes me, end up wasting lots of time. We don't really focus on things which matter. We just let a lot of detractors, a lot of time wasters waste our time and lament at the end of the day that, oh, only if only I had 48 hours a day. But the fact of matter is that all of us have only 24 hours, and those who are able to maximize their time, productivity, focus, are able to get things done much faster, much better than the rest of us. But what do you need to do that? You need three ingredients for that. You need a big goal which you're passionately believing in. You need to track your time. You need to plan your day, and you need to focus. Now that you believe in that goal, now that that goal is in front of you, now that you know what to do with your time, how to go about it. Sounds easy, but we all know how difficult it is to implement, how difficult it is to practically apply this. That is what I'm going to do. I'm going to help you break it down brick by brick, give you a system, give you a way of doing things, give you a tracking sheet so that it becomes very easy for you to do what I'm able to do. Here we go. I'm going to walk you through my system. The first exercise that I want you to do, and please take a pen and paper, your notebook, your journal, note down what we are going to talk about, because I'm not going to talk about in the air. I'm going to give you a system of implementing what I'm doing every single day. Let's start with the first exercise, which what I call as defining your impossible goal. Why am I calling it as impossible? Because you have not been achieving it. As simple as that. It has been possible for many other people who have focused, many other people who have tracked their time, many other people who wanted it desperately, where the universe has come around to helping them. But it has been impossible for many of you. It has been impossible for me long time back. Now, the simple exercise, let me get into that point, bullet point, and walk you through that point. Define your impossible goal. Think about the goal that you want to achieve. What is it that you want to achieve? What is it that you really, really desperately wanting to do? It could be weight reduction. It could be that you want to lose weight by 5 kg. But what are you doing about it? It could be that you want to study for the exam and pass the exam. But what are you doing about it? Do you really desperately want to achieve that? How desperate are you to achieve that? Is it becoming a matter of life and death for you? If it becomes a matter of life and death for you, you will get on to do that. So here is a thing. Imagine that goal, vividly imagine that goal. Look at how desperate you are and make it and think about it, will it, so that it becomes as important as breathing for you. That's what you should do. So here are simple things that I want you to do. One, write down that goal, that audacious goal which has been scaring you and that you deeply care for, that you are willing to work for. And the goal should be something that seems nearly impossible to achieve in a year, but you are committed to make things happen, which is in your control. And hence, you want to make progress on that in the next 30 days. Okay, just write down that goal on your journal. What are the things that you can ask yourself so that you write it better? Here are my three things that you should do. One, what is that one goal that you've always wanted to accomplish, but you have not been able to achieve? Think about it. Take one goal at a time. Why does this goal scare you? What is in it? What is the bigness in it which is scaring you? Number three, what would achieving this goal mean for your personal and professional life? Vividly imagine that, think about it, so that that bigness covers you, envelops you completely, and you are motivated, pushed by that goal, that bigness of the goal. It should be a lot bigger than whatever you have taken, so that you can apply yourself, so that you will be able to prove to yourself that you can achieve it. And that very achievement will tell you, will propel you that you can achieve anything that you want to set up your mind that you can achieve in your life. Now, having written this goal, what do you need to do as a third step? Write this goal in your notebook, keep it somewhere which is very visible to you, and don't yet share it with anyone. You will share it eventually, but not yet. You should share it only when you're fully committed and fully started working on that. Yeah. So that is exercise number one. So to quickly go through that exercise, think about that goal. Ask yourself why that goal matters to you, why it is important to you, why you want to commit to yourself, and put it up where you can see it so that you can live and breathe it every single day. That's exercise one. Now, let's come to exercise two, which is all about how much of a time you have and how to audit your time. Let's take a look at the time. What you should do, take a piece of paper, list all the major activities that you did over the last 7 days. It could be work related, it could be personal time related. Write down every single thing. And now, for each activity, estimate the time that you might have spent. You might have gone out for a movie. You might have studied something. You might have, if you're working, you might have done, let's say 8:30, you might have left from home. You might have come back home by about 7 o'clock. You would have spent all the time in the office. Even during the break time, let's say lunchtime, you would have talked to your friends. After lunch, you would have taken a walk around. You would have gone and taken a coffee. You would have spent some time talking to people over there, making friends with them. While coming back, you would have talked to people and taken time in terms of reaching home, even though you could have reached home a little earlier. Even after reaching home, you could have switched on the TV, watched it for a time. You could have been scrolling Facebook on your mobile. You could have done tons of other things. Note down what is it that you have been doing every single day, last 7 days. Not an easy exercise, but believe me, it is going to help you. Once you have estimated time that you have spent on each of the activity, now is the time to ask yourself, how much time did you spend on detractors, distractions, like social media, unnecessary phone calls, unnecessary meetings, unnecessary doing things? Second, what activities could you cut down to free up time for yourself? It's an important activity, important thought process. So spend quality time doing this. The third thing, how do you track it? Create a table with each of the day of the past week and list of the activities. And then be honest to yourself how much time you wasted. It's very easy to kid ourselves. It's very easy to deceive ourselves. And the easiest person who can deceive ourselves is ourselves. So be honest about what you are doing. Be very honest about how much time you wasted, and therefore estimate the time that you can actually free up every single day from your system. Now, if you've done the two exercises, time for the third exercise, what I call as weekly planning and time blocking. Now, what you should do, just use a notebook. You can use Google Calendar. You might want to use Notion. You might want to use a simple Excel sheet. You might want to use Todoist. I leave it the apps or the tracking system to you. I use Notion. I use things like Google Calendar. I also use simple notebook to note down first and then copy them back into Notion and Google Calendar. It makes it easy for me to think, but I leave in terms of whatever is easier for you to think through and copy and create a system to you, but use any of these systems. Time block your next 7 days. What I mean by time blocking, noting down what are the major things that you are going to do towards achieving this goal that you have written down in exercise number one. What are the things that it requires to move towards that? What are the things that you can free up in terms of your time? And hence, in the freed up time, what is it that you can do to move towards that goal? And focus on those activities which will move you closer towards that big goal. What are the questions that would help you to do this better? What are the tasks needed to progress towards the goal? If that goal is, let's say, studying for exam, and if you're a student and if you're studying for your exam, list down what are the things that you need to study, what are the notes that you need to go through, what are the exercises that you need to prepare for, what are the things that you should practice. If you're somebody who is working at office and you are acquiring a new skill, list down activities in terms of what it takes to acquire that skill, what it takes to prove to yourself that you have acquired the skill. What are the key things which would make you the master of that skill? And once you have listed all of these subtasks towards that goal, go ahead and populate that in your calendar. You also figure out what is the most productive time of the day. Are you a morning person? Are you an afternoon person? Are you an evening person? Some people have a lot of energy in the morning. For example, I'm a morning person. In the night, I become very tired and I would rather take rest rather than do any strenuous activities. But in the morning, I have lots and lots of energy. So you need to figure out what is the best time in the day and how you can free up that time for yourself to focus on that big goal and time block and for that day, time block during that time, but also block time for breaks and naps. Sounds weird, right? Here we are talking about doing things towards a goal, but here I am also asking you to plan and prepare for breaks as well as naps. It's important. A lot of times, what happens is that you need to consistently do that activity, and that is where planning and blocking time comes. But you should also not get burnt out. You should also revitalize yourself. You should also re energize yourself. And that is where planning that nap, planning that break comes in. I'm not asking you to take a 2 hour sleep. No, I'm asking you to take a 10 minute nap. I'm asking you to take a 5 minute break in between things that you are doing so that you are able to recharge yourself, re energize yourself. But a lot of us miss blocking time for that. The lot of times I've seen people schedule like 7 to 8 I want to do this, 8 to 9 I want to do this, 9 to 10 I want to do this. But by the time they hit the 3 hour, they're very, very tired. Why? Because they have not blocked time for taking that nap, taking that break. So don't miss out on that. Do plan a 10-minute nap. Do plan that break of 5 minutes. That 10-minute power nap, that 5 minute break is going to do wonders for you. So please do block it in your time. How do you track it? Right. Enter blocks into the calendar. Call it out saying that, okay, I'm going to do this towards my goal. I'm going to do this towards my goal. I'm going to do this activity towards my goal. And these are the times for power nap, 10 minutes. This is the time for break, 5 minutes. I'm going to walk around the park. What you will do during that break, also vividly imagine so that you are not at a loss. Oh, this is the break time. What should I do? You should be ready mentally. That picture of what I'm going to do every single time block, you should be ready. You may want to plan to listen to music. You may want to plan to just lie down and close your eyes. You may want to take a nap, but please think about it and block it in your calendar. As days go on, as you start doing it day by day, you may want to tweak it, and that is where reviewing and adjusting daily comes in. But do plan, do block time. Then we are going into what I call as a consistency check and accountability system, which would help you. What should you do? Identify an accountability buddy. And this is where you are going to reveal your goal to the world. After you have planned it, after you have planned your time every single day, after you have thought through, you are going to find your best friend. It could be your spouse, it could be your parents, it could be your friends, whoever who believes in you, who shares those goals, shares that belief and confidence about you. Find somebody and share with them. This is what I'm going to do. Why should you do this? Because they can push you.
I believe in you.
Research after research has found that instead of you slogging on your goals by yourself, if somebody else is also there who can push you, people go on to do things much, much faster, much, much better. They stick on to their plan, they stick on to their schedule. So, if you want to hit consistency, and consistency is all that it takes to become successful in most walks of life, you can't do more than finding that best accountability partner. So find that person, get that person into your dream, talk to that person about your goal, and make that person push you. And that person should do a regular progress check with you. Okay, have you done this? Did you plan? You planned all of this yesterday. Have you done all of this yesterday? And you should be able to say, yes, I did. And with honest, because you are going to be honest for yourself. You're not doing it for anybody else. You are going to do this to achieve that goal, that which is scary, big, audacious goal for yourself. And therefore, when that accountability partner asks you, you should be able to say honestly, yes, I did. And you should also be asking, you should be the accountability partner for that person's goals and dreams. When such people combine, it becomes a massive force which propels you and that partner of yours. So, what are the things that would help you in terms of asking questions? What should you ask yourself? Who will keep you accountable? Who is the best person? Who is interested in you? Who shares your dreams? That kind of a person should become your accountability partner. What should be the frequency of checks? Ideally daily, but all of us are busy. All of us have our work life. All of us have our personal life, and at least once a week. At least once a week. It could be twice a week. It could be every Tuesday, every Friday you check in, or it could be every Wednesday, every Saturday you check in. But at least once a week. So have a system and also think about what kind of progress to report. Do you want to do activity by activity? That would be great, or at least the big hits. Okay. I planned 7 activities last week. I did all 7, or I missed 2, but 5 out of 7 is still a good progress. I see myself progressing and sharing progress reports of each other. But think about what kind of a frequency you want to set up, what kind of a progress report you want to share with each other, and stick to that without fail. How do you track this? Record accountability buddy, set up the check-in schedule and document progress detail, put it on the Excel sheet, put it on the calendar, note down on the journal that you are using and share with each other. Today sharing is not a problem. You can use WhatsApp, you can use calls and have fun doing progress checks on each other. And this is all about setting the activity towards that goal. But how exactly do you work? That is what the next exercise is all about. We are going to talk about what do you do and how do you achieve that deep flow state. What is it all about? What to do? Choose a task for 90-minute focus sessions. And these are the things that you should build in your calendar. You are going to focus on that exam of yours. You are going to focus on that skill building of yours. You are going to focus on that weight reduction of yours, whatever that goal is. Choose a task for it could be a 60-minute, it could be a 90-minute, it could depend on the task on hand, but choose a task for that session. Suppose you choose a 90-minute focus session. During that session, you are going to avoid all distraction. You are going to put your phone away. You are not going to take any calls. You are going to keep your phone on mute. You are going to tell everybody in your house that you are focusing on this task and you are not to be disturbed at all. So that your mind is completely on the task and it is not distracted by anything else. So what are the things that would help you to think about it? One, how long does it take you to enter this flow state? I'm sure you know what the flow state is. Flow state is something where you forget time. Flow state is something that you are so immersed in the activity. It could be learning, it could be studying, it could be doing that exercise, it could be listening to that music and practice that music. It could be anything that you want to achieve in your life, any of the activity that you are doing towards that goal of yours. But in doing that activity, you are so immersed that you are oblivious to the time. You don't know time passing. You are so interested, so engrossed that you've forgotten yourself, forgotten everything else. That is called the flow state. When you are in that flow state, nothing matters. What you are doing, that is the only thing which matters. And how long does it take you to get into that state? And how long are you in that state? Think about it because all of us hit that flow state, but a lot of us get out of that flow state, that beautiful state where things happen automatically. You're so engrossed in our life that in that activity that nothing in life matters for us except that activity. But we get distracted very easily. We get go attend that phone call. We get attend that ping from the social media, ping from WhatsApp, and we waste that flow state, which doesn't come easily. So figure out how long does it take for you to get into that state? How long are you in that state of affairs so that it would help you to understand yourself better? And what distractions you encountered? What did you do about it? Ideally, you should not take any phone call, but were you tempted to get into that phone call? Ideally, you should not be checking your WhatsApp, but were you tempted to go and check your WhatsApp because of old habits? And once you get used to getting into that flow state, staying there, how productive was that session? Were you able to learn? How much were you able to learn? How much were you able to practice? How much were you able to do the things that you wanted to do? Note down each of this. All of these functions as a feedback mechanism to you. All of this helps you to understand yourself better, helps you to understand what is it that you need to do towards progressing, towards going towards that goal. Now, how do you track this? Simple. For each of these flow sessions, each of these, it could be a 60-minute session, it could be a 90-minute session. whatever that you are planning for, how good was that session, how productive you were in the session, note down and keep record of this session. These records, these feedbacks help you to look at, oh, I was doing fantastic work. I was able to learn. I was able to practice. I was able to do towards that goal, that activity that I want to do in such a fantastic manner that I would rate my productivity during that session 10 out of 10, or it could be 9 out of 10. Or no, I just could not achieve that flow state at all. I maybe I'm a morning person, but I was doing it in the evening. I was feeling tired. I was feeling irritated. All I want to do was to take a nap and sleep, and therefore my productivity was only 3 out of 10. So all of these feedback mechanism, which you note down for yourself, would also help you to figure out what times are better times for you, what kind of activity, what kind of things are helping you to move towards that goal. It all would accumulate and help you in a wonderful manner to plan your daily planning of activity, daily activities in a much better manner. Once you start doing for 2, 3 days, 3, 4 days, you would be able to understand yourself much better, and you will be able to tweak your schedule in a much better manner once you start recording all of this feedback to yourself. Then comes what we talked about as exercise number 6, all about power nap and recharging. Don't ever let recharging to as not planned. Please plan it in your schedule. A lot of people just get burnt out in planning just because they have not planned their recharging, just because they have not planned their break activities. The break, suddenly they take a break because they are bored. Suddenly they take a break because they are tired and they feel burnt out and they don't know how long they should take. They have not planned it. But if you vividly imagined in your mind that, okay, I'm going to study for 1 hour, I'm going to practice this skill for 1 hour, and after that, I'm going to take a 10-minute power nap. After that, I'm going to take a 5-minute break. You will be able to do that time also in a more productive manner. So, what do you do? Here is what you should do. Take a 10 to 15-minute nap before doing the deep work. You are planning to get into that 90-minute, no distraction, deep work, no distraction time where you are telling yourself that I'm going to immerse myself in that activity, which will propel me towards that goal of mine. But before doing that, recharge your batteries. If your battery is not charged up, how can that battery last for the next day? You can't. Similarly, charge up your battery, take a nap of 10 minutes to 15 minutes, close your eyes, take that break, and get into the deep work. But if you're already feeling fresh, if you're already feeling charged, you don't have to do that 10 to 15-minute power nap. But the whole idea is to get recharged for that next task. What are the questions which would help you to do this? How did you feel before and after the nap? How did you feel before and after the break? Think about it, note it down. A lot of us lose very valuable information, very valuable feedback because we are not just noting it down. We just let it slide. Please note it down. How productive you were after that taking the nap. Did you feel recharged? Did that productivity go up? Did you feel that you are able to concentrate much better than before, where you were not taking the nap? Note down all that so that you can tweak what you need to do in terms of break, what you need to do in terms of recharging yourself in a more productive manner. Did it impact on the energy? Did it impact on rest of the time that you are doing? Did it impact on the rest of the work that you are doing? Think about all this. All of these are very, very valuable information which only you can provide to yourself. Please note it down. Please use this information. How do you track this information? Record nap time or the break time. Track productivity after this break time. That would help you to understand what kind of nap, what kind of break is helping you, and is it really pushing you forward. When you understand that, yes, it is pushing me forward, you will be able to take that on a very regular basis. You will be very, very incentivized to plan that also in your schedule. So plan it out, track it out, know about yourself. The final one that I have for you is daily progress reflection. What do you do? Reflect on progress at the end of each day. Spend 5 minutes journaling it, 5 minutes reflecting on it. Look at your day and look at the tasks that you have planned for yourself. Look at whether you were able to do it or not. Look at how long you were immersed in that flow state and what were the distractions, how you handle those distractions. Note down all that. Write down the successes. Yes, out of 7 things that I wanted to do this week, I was able to do five things. Out of the three things that I wanted to do today, I was able to do all three, or I was able to do at least two of the most important things. Very good. One thing I could not do, that is an area of improvement. Write down, reflect on the progress, write down your success areas and improvement areas. What kind of questions you should ask which would help you? Did I make progress toward my goal? Did all these activities that I did today, or these pushing me towards that goal that I have taken? Was time blocking and deep work consistent? I planned for 90-minute deep work, but after 60 minutes, I felt an urge to stop the work and get out. Or while I planned for a 90-minute work, I was very disturbed. I was not doing deep work at all. I was thinking about some other things. I was thinking about office. I was thinking about what to do for vacation and so on and so forth. Was different kind of thoughts coming and disturbing you? You may not have been disturbed by social media, you may not have been disturbed by phone calls, but your own thoughts interrupting your deep work. Was it happening? Note it down. And if that is happening, what to do and how to improve for tomorrow. You should think about it, and all of this should become journaling points, reflection points, so that you can improve next day. How do you track any of this? Write a daily summary. You could be using an app, you could be using a journal. There are journal apps available. Simple thing is to write down on a diary so that you can reflect on it. You can use it every single day. So these are my 7 exercises. Just to summarize, one, start with an absolutely big goal that you have always wanted to chase. Do time audit, look at the time wasters, free up time. Third, do weekly planning and do time blocking so that you know exactly what to do during every single day, so which would propel you towards that goal. Four, do a consistency check and get somebody who will become an accountability partner who will help you push you towards that goal. Five, do deep work and track your time, track the deep work and get into the flow state and how often you are able to do that, how productive those sessions are. Six, look at how to energize yourself, re-energize yourself, plan the nap, plan the break also into your time. And seven, daily progress and reflections so that you know what you are doing, so that you know what you are achieving, so that you know where you need to improve and celebrate all those successes that you are able to achieve every single day. When you do all this, nobody can stop you. When you do all this, you will be moving towards that big, hairy, audacious goal that you have taken for yourself. Wishing you all the very best. See you in our next episode.